Good morning. We are live. Sorry, it's morning and it's freezing cold on this first day of November in the year of our Lord 2023. I wasn't coughing when I hit go live. um, it's cold. If you hear a fan, it's the little electric heater fan pointed right at me. I guess I should turn it off. It's an annoying sound. Reactor online, sensors online, weapons online, all systems nominal, Freeman says. Hello there, Freeman, and I got your GoFundMe donation. Hi, Philip Blair. Yes, happy Day of the Dead. Let me go turn off the little heater fan. Tora wants me to let her OUT not go in there. IB Collectible is here. All systems functional. Philip likes the heater. It's soothing. I don't know. Some people say it makes it hard to hear me. No snow just yet. Not enough moisture. But it would have snowed if we had enough clouds. When the snow is falling, it tends to get a little warmer. I guess something to do with friction, snow falling through the cold air. Tora, you are driving me crazy, young cat. Okay, you made your appearance. Now get off of me. Oh, I have heating as long as the GoFundMe keeps supporting it. Along in January, I can apply for it's a sort of government grant for poor people, and they'll issue grants in March after most of the cold weather is over, and I've already struggled to keep the heat on. Last year it wasn't really enough, but my credit union gave me a disaster loan that covered it. So I've got to pay about $40 a month on that loan. It doesn't kill me. Oh, Freeman, I've been thinking about computers, and I should have looked into a notebook computer. I can't carry a laptop anywhere. It's too heavy for me with my bad back. And I understand that the notebooks are pretty cheap too. Jan is here? I didn't see Jan. Oh, there's Jan. Yeah, Jan is the one who asked about heating. Um, yeah, my back pain it comes and goes. It's not too bad this morning. Anyway, the desktop computer is acceptable for now. Oh, so Freeman has a computer sitting in his closet. That's interesting. I have one sitting in my closet, but it's the one that died 10 years ago. And, you can't just toss it in the trash. You have to take it to a special disposal site. So it's still hanging around, but it's dead. It was, I think it had something like Windows 7, but it died the big one. And I should remove the hard drive before I uh, dispose of it. Yes, Philip, being a retired professor doesn't mean you're wealthy by any means. Well, I got the data, Freeman. It's just the it's just dead. Anyway, Jen got disconnected. Oh, but she's back. Jen could be a man's name or a woman's, but I believe you're a woman. Anyway, yeah, I have to put together all the dead stuff, phones, tablets, and the dinosaur laptop. Uh, and get someone to haul them to the proper disposal site. You can no longer remove the SIM card or the battery from your phone. They're sealed. They're like the back doesn't come off. That sucks. Freeman was awake all night in anticipation of getting paid. I have the data. Um, I have backups. Yes, Jan is the New Zealand female living in Tasmania. Apparently, you're not that far from Hawaii, where they had that horrible fire on Maui. And on one of the islands, a volcano has been erupting, but it has not endangered anyone. I've been very interested in the conspiracy theories regarding the Maui fire. It seems that the agencies that were supposed to help did everything wrong and made it worse. Oh, Freeman has been reading Best of Philip K. Dick. Finished the story The Expendables. Yeah, I think Maui is a land grab. Philip is taming some fluffy orange kittens. Aw. A fluffy tabby girl and a short-haired tabby girl. Aw. Well, orange cats are almost always male, so at least they won't produce kittens. They might cause a female to produce kittens, but I got stuck with 3 calicos. They're all spayed thanks and got their shots thanks to a local cat charity. 2 of them are fairly friendly to me, but They don't seem to warm up to other people. The third one is extremely shy. But once in a while, I get to touch her briefly and just scritch behind her ear. Usually, there's food involved. Yes, Freeman, male cats sire other kittens. Oh, Lord. I've come to the conclusion that the gray cat that keeps sneaking in to eat couldn't possibly be pregnant. He or she must be simply fat because it's been a couple months and no kittens have popped out. And I think they only carry kittens for about 8 weeks. I should look that up. Let's see. How long gestation kittens? Google should understand that. Yeah, 63 to 65 days. Okay, I'm too lazy to do the math in my head. Where's my calculator? 65 divided by 7 equals, 9 weeks. Well, I guess it's possible. Could be a pregnant cat, could be a fat one. We'll find out, but I can't catch her. She's really feral. But if I find kittens and put them in a cage, the mama cat will go into the cage so I can shut the door and call the, I forgot their name. I've got it somewhere. The cat people, the cat shelter. Cats fattening up for the winter and getting free food, that's true. What have I been doing this week? Trying to do a few of the chores I couldn't do last week. My kitchen sink is piled up with dirty dishes. I got to start on cleaning the bathroom. The cat's litter box is in there and they're slobs. And they like to drink from the bathroom sink. They lick the faucet hoping that they can get the water to drip. And now I have one faucet dripping. So there's cat footprints all over the sink, inside and out. Oh, and I took out the trash. I couldn't do it last week. Just the waste basket from the kitchen. Oh, and my son is going to visit. I can't get to where he is, so he's going to come see me and some friends of his who live nearby. You know, he has a pacemaker now. And he has a little bit of vacation time left before he goes back to work. Oh, Philip says a November miracle. And I have a story coming out. It's in an anthology published by Quoir.com, and that's QUOIR.com. You don't have to go to Amazon. You can order from Quoir. My story is titled "To Win the War." Not my title, but that's what the editor wanted. It deals with military robots and the hazards of making machines too intelligent. There's stories by other people. David Agranov comes to mind, and others. And the editor is Keith Giles. I think it's a really good collection, all science fiction. Yes, I know. I like non Amazon sources too, but as a practical matter, I often end up buying through them, but usually from independent sellers who use Amazon to sell their wares. I've only been burned once. Well, twice, but the first time was so long ago, I'm not sure when it was. I had ordered an appetizer, little puff pastries filled with spinach. Well, they arrived raw, uncooked, with no instructions for how to cook them. That must be at least 20 years ago. Recently, though, I bought candy corn because I couldn't find it in any of the stores. And when it arrived, it was so stale it was hard as rocks. Um, I asked them to replace it, but apparently they couldn't or wouldn't. But they did give back my money. The thing is, they're still selling it on Amazon, so uh, I don't trust them. Oh, you want people to teach AI to love us? That's a good idea. They're going to choose a retirement home. Okay. Send us to a cockroach motel, huh? Oh, yeah, the Armor Meat Packing Plant. Silent Green is people. Well, thank you, Jan. I don't know how much inspiration is involved in simply. Technically, it was not cardiac arrest, but heart attack is a generic term, not a medical term. But it was serious and life threatening. They had to use the paddles on him and shock his heart back into beating. Anyway, I'll get to see him soon. Oh, Jewish nursing home, huh? I wouldn't mind, except I hate kosher food. The modern interpretation of kosher means make sure nothing has any flavor and everything is too dry. And boy, I learned what bitter herbs are, not by personal experience, but from someone else who attended a Seder. Bitter herbs are hot chili peppers. I can't tolerate them. So if I ever am invited to a Seder, I'll make sure that I skip the bitter herbs. The Seder is very much like our original communion, which was an agape feast eating an actual meal, but the foods for a Seder are, you know, kind of prescribed. You got to have lamb, of course. Oh, matzo ball soup, Freeman, that's good stuff. Yeah, bitter herbs could include horseradish. I can't handle that either ever since my baked potato accident. The dining room was dark and I thought it was the sour cream. Put it all over my baked potato. Anyway, I have eaten at Jewish delis, and some of the food is excellent, really. I kind of exaggerate the problems with kosher. No, I don't like pickled whitefish. I've tried it and it's just too weird. Fish should not taste like pickles, and pickles should not have fishy texture. Well, they're mostly obeying the signs. I've had to ask people, "Do you know how to read? Did you read the signs? And you still parked in front of my gate?" And twice, well, that's one. Oh, and two other times I just went over and yelled at the people next door, "I'm calling the tow truck. He'll be here in 10 minutes." "Oh my God, I'll move it." Why don't you read the signs in the first place? And who in the world thinks ever that it's okay to park right in front of someone else's gate? You need to understand that my driveway is sideways. You can park at least 6 cars side by side without blocking my gate. But oh my God, they might have to walk 3 or 4 feet farther to where they're going. So they should inconvenience me by blocking my gate. When you're a guest in someone else's house, do you just pick any chair you want, go through their fridge and eat what you want, try on their clothes, take a bath and get their towels all wet and dump them on the floor? It's the same thing. Well, Freeman, there are people in this town who really don't know how to read, but one of my signs has a picture of a tow truck on it. Uh, Lord. Hi, kitty cats. They've decided that they like my chair, the cats, my recliner chair where I like to sit, probably because it gets warm when I'm sitting on it. Oh, I have a message. Oh boy. A way of not getting snowed in? Oh, I can always get someone else to dig out my path if it snows a lot. Last year's Snowmageddon, last March, was a different animal entirely. I had to wait because some people were snowed in, couldn't get out of their houses, and uh, had no heat and were running out of food. So of course they had to get dug out first. I was okay, just had cabin fever. All I need is my walkway. It's, see, 30 or 40 feet long to the street. That includes the driveway. And in most years, it isn't a big deal, even if it isn't dug out, as long as I tread carefully and don't slip and fall. I have these things called shoe chains. You put them on your shoes, uh, and they act like the tire chains that people put on their cars. So you get a grip and you don't fall. Mm. Anyway, oh Lord, I'll be okay as long as we don't get another snowmageddon. We were all sitting here saying, "Where's the global warming? It's 20 degrees Fahrenheit. That's less than 0 centigrade." Eventually, the snow melted, but it took a month. Oh well. Yes, kitty cats. I see you looking at me. Patches is cute. Patches and Tutu. Let's get them on camera. Um, there they are. Patches and Tutu on my chair with my blankie and my pillow. Hmm. 3C, short for 3CPOs, hiding. Okay. Yeah, they're cute. But I have to scoop their litter box and I have to feed them and let them in and out. I think Sweetie stayed out last night. I worry about her. She's 16 years old. She should come in at night, but she didn't. Unless she. Oh, never mind. She's in the back window. I see a little lump of black fur there. Oh, good. Let's see. There is so much happening that is so disturbing. Sorry. Maybe there's something psychological in my cough. Um, Hamas, Israel, Iran, Ukraine, Taiwan. What else? Okay, John. Let's see. Oh, lovely. On Friday, Edison is planning another planned power outage. As a result of not replacing all the food that got ruined in the last planned power outage, because the outages lasted over 12 hours and the stuff in the freezer and the refrigerator was no good anymore. So they're going to do it again. 6 o'clock Friday night to 6:30 Saturday morning. So I won't shop for anything that needs to be kept cold until after then. Yeah, let's choose our battles carefully, Freeman. Definitely. And Jan, wrote a script about the being snowed in. Well, I wasn't scared, but I'm unusual. I knew I wasn't in danger. My heater runs on gas, so even though the power failed a few times, it didn't matter. I had my gas heater and my gas stove for cooking, and the water pipes did not freeze up, so I had running water. The only bad part there was I couldn't shower because the water heater turned off. It's a safety feature. The vent at the top of the water heater was blocked with snow, so no hot water. It was running. I could run the hot tap, but all I got was cold water. So I was boiling water on the stove. Oh, Freeman gets overshoes so he doesn't slip and slide. I just go to Ace Hardware and get shoe chains. They're about $10. I've tried the ones that have little spikes, kind of like little thumbtacks. The old fashioned kind, not the push pins. They're crap. They don't work as well as the chains, and the little buttons with the pins tend to come off in the snow. So all you have is a bunch of rubber stretched around your shoes. So I got the kind with chains. Not chains. Let me see if I can find them and show them to you. Move chair. Well, they should be in here, and they aren't. Nope. I moved them. I put them somewhere. Oh dear. I should have put them in with my shoes and boots. I don't remember. Hey, you get off of me. Nope. Oh, I'll worry about that later. The thing is, there are these rubber things that slip over your shoes, and all the rubber parts have metal wire wrapped around them. You can get the kind that's actual chains, but I don't like them. Oh, the Ace Hardware where I live is very, very good. They really are the helpful hardware guys and women. And whenever I ask for help, they smile and they seem happy to be able to help. Where did I put my shoe chains? I'll have to find them soon. We'll probably get a little snow. It isn't the snow that bothers me, it's the ice. Anyway, I'm glad the internet connection is holding up this time. Week I barely lasted half an hour. Okay. Ah, shouldn't have twisted that far. Um, wow. Ay, ay, ay. Wow. Oh, yeah, Jan. I, I'm still looking for the time to read Freeman's story. It's too hard to sit long enough at the computer when my back is bad, but I'll take a look at your script too. Ah, she's. I didn't want three more cats. I was happy with one and a half. Sweetie's only half a cat because she's so feral, so wild, and skitsy. Oh, Jan, I don't. It's your work. I won't fuss about it if you use it. Some authors are really um, protective, I guess. Like for decades, you couldn't use Snoopy or Charlie Brown for anything because Charles Schultz would sue you. I'm not that way. Yeah, the cats do rule this planet, but they've been making really poor decisions lately. Yeah, Disney, they charge at least twice as much as anybody else for a disc of one of their movies, and they have code in there so you can't copy it. Now, I remember when I had the videotapes of Disney movies, I wanted to copy them so I could play the copy and not wear out the original. You can't do it. Same with their DVDs and Blu rays. Horrible. Um, I watch Nerdrotic on YouTube, Freeman. I haven't heard of Clownfish TV. I really don't want the Disney movies anymore. No more small children to show them to. Yeah, I've been to Disneyland, the original in Anaheim, because I used to live in Anaheim. And when I was a teenager, anybody under 18 years old could get in. At first, it was $2, and then they raised it to $3. And that was when you had tickets for the rides. And we'd always have some tickets. You know, people who had been to Disneyland would give us the tickets they didn't use, and sometimes people at the park would give us the tickets they didn't want to use. Oh, Freeman wants a copy of Song of the South just out of revenge. Yeah, I never got to see the whole movie, Song of the South, and now they claim it's racist. Ah, I don't get it. Yeah, it was the 60s. Well, I'll tell you, a candy bar that cost more than $1 today was 10 cents, and it was bigger than the candy bar that you get for over $1 now. Our house payment was, my parents' house payment was, let's see, was a little around $32 a month. And the house, decent 3-bedroom house in Anaheim, cost them $22,500. A Coke was 10 cents, and if you saved the glass bottle that it came in, you'd get 2 cents back when you turned it in. We used to do chores for the neighbors, and they'd pay us by giving us all their empty soda bottles to take to the grocery store and get the deposit back. And it was worth it. Some candy bars, cents. The Junior Mints and the Sugar Baby were 5 cents. The big candy bars were 10 cents. Inflation calculator website, yeah. Well, I'm shocked that they're claiming our inflation for 2023 is 3.5%. No, 3.2, not quite 3.25. When everything costs twice as much, they just don't count things that people actually buy. Freeman has never had a Clark bar or a 50/50 bar. I think I had a Clark bar once. It's kind of like a Butterfinger. 50/50 bar, I know I've had them, but I can't remember what they were like. I must not have liked it. Tried it once and said nope. I used to love the Payday, a roll of salty caramel wrapped in peanuts, crumbled peanuts. And those were the days I could eat candy bars all day long, and it never made me sick. Now I'm pretty much happy with one candy bar. Whoops. Dang throat. Most of my coughing is because of acid reflux, which happens because I have that hiatal hernia. Uh, it's at the top of the stomach, tends to poke up through the muscle and get kind of pinched off. Okay, Freeman thinks the 50/50 bar was supposed to be white chocolate with regular chocolate. Well, let's see what Google has to say. Let's turn on the light so I can see the keyboard. Ooh, chunky. I hate chunky. Hershey's 50/50 bar is a chocolate bar with almonds? That's what it says. I remember chunky. It was cheap chocolate with nuts and raisins in it. Never did really like it, but I would eat it if that's all I had. The sore beneath my nose is a scar, Freeman. Uh, from skin cancer. It's just a scar. Nut goody? Jonah? I don't even know what that is. What, kitties? Don't fuss at me. Shall I open a can? Is that your problem? I think the kitties are hungry. Hmm. Well, I don't have any makeup. I always worn makeup for weddings and funerals and nothing else. So I'm going to have to get some makeup to kind of cover it. Oh, Freeman has had European chocolates. Um, I'm trying to remember what I had that was so good. You can't get Uno bars here in the on the West Coast. Once in a great long while, I'll see them and buy a bunch. Uno is awesome. It melts in your mouth. In a can. Right. This is mixed grill flavor. There we go. There's pretty kitties. Oh yeah. All right. Let me through. Jen, I had to. Oh, Jen says I'm good with food. Move over. Torah. Oh, and am I still able to consider a recipe book? Now that's an idea. The foods that Phil loved. I remember baked cod, sea bass. Loved sea bass. And of course, the chicken livers in a white sauce. I'll think about it. I'll start with the things I made that he was not wild about, and maybe end with the souffle that failed because his stove was electric, and I just can't cook with an electric oven. Tora, knock it off. You're driving me crazy. You see, while the kitties are busy with their canned food, Tora can have a treat in peace and quiet. Let me recycle some coffee. In other words, pee. Since most of you don't seem to understand the reference. Dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum. Kitties! Hi, Threesy. Where you been, cat? uh, oh, Freeman, there's never enough money. Um, Unless you're George Soros. I still don't know what happened to Gil. Um, Walter Bosley says he died, but didn't know what from. I'm trying to remember the name of his channel. Yeah, I had a propane heater, ET. Um, it's getting too difficult to get propane in California. They want to make sure we all freeze and starve. Oh, Freeman. The problem with precious metals on an asteroid is that it costs so much to get them. You'll have to excuse me a minute. No, Tor, it's still too cold. Sweetie has the good sense to stay in the house. Hey, don't claw my chair. Cats. Well, at least they've started using the actual cat scratching post. It's shredded. Well, you know, until quite recently, NASA owned space. They wouldn't let anybody. Okay, where'd I put it? Fly without Okay, within Earth's atmosphere, you have to get FAA approval. If you want to go into space, you got to get the federal government to let you, and that's usually NASA, and they just wouldn't let you. They seem to think they own everything, including the air we breathe and the water we drink. ET has plans for a teleportation device. Ah, after seeing uh, various accidents with the Star Trek transporter, I don't think I want to teleport. But it does remind me of Phil's novel, the Philip K. Dick novel, The Unteleported Man. It's a very underrated novel. It's really good. Cats. I'm surrounded by cats. According to my computer, it's 54 degrees outside, but I don't believe it. It feels like 40 in the house. They must think I'm in San Diego. The computer's always getting my location wrong. Let me take a look at my indoor computer. Tora, give it up. You ain't going nowhere. Eh. It's about 60 in the house, but not on the floor where my feet are. Cute, Freeman. Put a shoe on your hand and say, I want to speak to the transporter chief now. And remember, Dr. McCoy would not use a transporter. He didn't believe that he'd be the same person, that when he came out, he wouldn't be the person who went in. What? Knock it off, Tora. You're being a pest. Yeah, she's a very smart cat. Smarter than the average cat. But problem is, if I give her a treat, I get mobbed by all the kitties. Yeah, well, you want that or not? You back up, kid. What? God. Okay, they're all gone. It's empty. Cats. Ugh. Hi, sweetie. God. Sweetie, you really gotta figure out by now that I don't murder cats. Oh, she didn't get any treats. Well, I don't have more treats until tomorrow because that's when they're bringing them. Go eat your canned food, sweetie. What? Knock it off, Tora. I guess Patches found the one that I dropped. Tora, that's it. You ate them all. Knock it off. I haven't got more. You ate them all. And these are junior mints. You won't want them. Go eat your cat food. Okay. Yeah, last week, I don't know what was with my internet, but after half an hour, I had to give up. The connection was so poor. But apparently, the replay was fine. Tora quit. No, you get out of my coffee. It's bad for cats. God. And I'm not letting her OUT because it's cold. Jan, we need to pray for one of our viewers, Witta. What I think about. She lives with. She's disabled and lives with two adult relatives who are disabled, and they lost their Section 8 housing. They have the government grant for housing, but they can't find a place that will accept them as tenants. One place would have accepted them, but the Section 8 people inspected the apartment and said it wasn't fit to live in. And the building she was in, up until yesterday, was evicting everybody, and their excuse was they had to make repairs and they needed people out of the way. Last I heard from Witta, she was at an all-night McDonald's with her family, a 24-hour McDonald's. Their possessions are in storage and they have no place to go. Okay, you can chase the fly, but don't hurt my coffee. All right, I have to do something about the fly. It isn't bug spray, it's Lysol. All the cats run away. Good kitties. Slumlords, yep. No, I should put a UVic label on it, but it's Lysol. I don't use bug spray in the house. Insect poison. It couldn't possibly be good for humans either. Oh, PKD spray from Day in the Afterlife? Okay. That was a pretty good documentary, A Day in the Afterlife. Ow. I'll have to remember that when I spray the Lysol, the cats leave me alone. Some documentaries did pay me. The BBC gave me $100 for their documentary. I think it was A Day in the Afterlife that the guys were from South America and they brought me a bottle of wine and a box of cookies. Yeah, well, BBC treated me like dirt, too. They had money to FedEx the contract to me before I even agreed to do it. And when I met with them, they handed me the $100 as if uh, it was like, here, now leave me alone. You know, it's like they didn't really want to. You see, at the time, they wanted to film me in my kitchen. They were very insistent. And I didn't tell them why they couldn't. I just said, no, you'll have to film me at the college where I work. I'm a professor. And they were really angry about that. But the truth was, I was homeless. I was sleeping either in my car or in the office where I worked. And once a week, I would get a room at Motel 6 so I could have a shower and a real bed. Oh, sorry, Jan. I didn't have the kitchen. But I wasn't about to tell the BBC that I was homeless. I just could not come up with the deposits for an apartment. But eventually I rented a room with a very nice lady. So, it was just a temporary thing. My son, who was barely 18, made a baby he couldn't afford. What are you cats doing? Are you killing each other? Well, anyway, so I had to help him. Oh, hi, Vican from the Works Canteen. All right, it's time to do something for these. It's an automatic laser pointer just for cats. Runs on batteries and moves the little red dot around. Someone gave it to me, and it's been a real blessing. But they just gave me a whole bunch of stuff, so I didn't know what it was at first. I had to figure it out. Oh, wow. You know, I'm really blessed to have been born in the United States. Even growing up poor in the US is really a good life. Yeah, I only had one pair of shoes. A lot of my clothes were hand me downs or they came from yard sales. In fact, almost all of my clothes. And, you know, a real treat was once, I guess, maybe twice a year, I could have a steak for dinner. Hi, Niche. We didn't have a color TV. Our television set was black and white. But when I see how people live in other countries, many don't have a TV or don't even know what a TV is. Freeman gives interviews a hard time. Well, they actually had the nerve to ask me Their brilliant question, the BBC. What did Phil eat for breakfast? I said, Cheerios or right. No, I think I said Rice Krispies because I don't cook breakfast. I was so ticked off. That's what they wanted to know. Well, I have plenty of shoes now, Freeman. And I've learned that as you get older, your feet get bigger. So last year's shoes didn't fit me. So I'm wearing this year's shoes. I have my snow boots and my sneakers and my loafers and my indoor outdoor house slippers. What do I eat for breakfast? I don't like breakfast. I don't know what a basted egg is. I have coddled eggs and poached eggs. I assume that's similar. You boil the egg outside the shell. Anyway, I'm not hungry in the morning. I wait a while. I usually have breakfast after this show. And at the moment, I'm really big on bacon. It's getting both expensive and hard to find in California because of rules and regulations. Oh, you take a fried egg and add 3 tablespoons of chicken broth while they're cooking. That sounds interesting. So that's a basted egg. I like eggs no matter how they're cooked. I don't like to put paprika on my deviled eggs or, hard boiled eggs. Paprika is supposed to be a mild peppery spice, but all it tastes like to me is bitter. I don't taste the pepper in it. And I'm usually very sensitive to peppers, hot peppers. A bell pepper is okay, and any other pepper, not really. Anyway, it's funny, almost hilarious. I know that I got the recipe for the chicken livers in white sauce from The Joy of Cooking, the book that Phil gave me. I can't find the recipe in there. And nowadays I just make the chicken livers. I don't bother with the white sauce. So I don't think I can recreate the recipe unless I can find it in that book. Cats. And hold on. I really like sea bass and cod baked with butter, a little parsley on top. But you know what? I can't find sea bass. And yeah, I can find cod in the frozen section at the grocery store, but it costs a bloody fortune. So I got the Van Camp's breaded fish fillets. They're actually haddock, which is more and more replacing cod in various recipes. But the fish, it's all bread. Maybe one third of it is fish. I don't think it's even that much. The fish itself is so thin I can barely find it under all the bread, and I can't taste it. No, I haven't read Eric Frank Russell's books or David Brin's. I probably should. I have a huge stack of books to read. But, yeah, there's only so much time and energy. Oh well. Killed another cigarette. One kitten is too busy eating. She considers the pretty pink light a pest. I don't want to chase the light. I want to eat. Cute. Oh, one time, after Phil finished eating dinner, he asked, "Is there dessert?" And I hadn't made any dessert. So I said, "Okay, I'll make you something." And I did what my grandmother used to do. I made a, sorry. Oh, that was a big one. I made a simple pie crust, just flat, and dotted on some butter and cinnamon sugar and baked it. And it was the best I could do on short notice. And Phil was delighted. He said, "My grandmother used to make this for me." So it worked out well. Ah, Freeman has My Life on the Edge of Reality and The Darkening of the Light. And My Life on the Edge of Reality, if you skip to the end, you'll be totally confused because the last section or chapter of the book is a piece of fiction that I wrote. So no matter how badly you're tempted, don't skip to the end. It was based on a series of dreams that I had. Many of my stories are based on dreams or daydreams. Oh, good. Freeman reads all the way through. Well, shoot. Let's see. Who's going to indict Donald Trump next? Will it go to the Supreme Court? His motions to dismiss? Will he be found guilty and appeal? I don't know. It's crazy. Uh, a little something for us tempunauts. It's a very interesting story. Very interesting and sad. Lord. Will they impeach Biden? Will they impeach Kamala Harris or let's see, Mayorkas and um, Garland? Yeah, sometimes, uh, you know, amazingly, I can connect Phil's fiction to his real life experiences. As he said in his Met speech, he's reliving the present over and over, doing the same things, saying the same things. And that's kind of how Tempunauts is. I wrote a juvenile novel under my pen name, my maiden name. Let me grab that book. Bad Moon Rising by, oh man, too much glare, by L.A. Busby. I did the cover myself with no royalty-free clip art, and it shows. It's kind of a weird cover. The back says, werewolves might be only legendary, but evil often lurks in the most unexpected corners of our lives. This is my proof copy. Uh, okay, my back's getting to me. It's getting harder and harder to think. Oh well, it's cold. I'm tired, and I've been on for almost an hour and a half. Hi, Yosarian. Thank you for the good wishes. I'm almost ready to sign off because my back is killing me. Oh, I was going to try something. Uh, here, there. Polarized glasses. They're not prescription. They're just kind of, well, they're just kind of foggy. They reduce glare and make it easier to read the chat without having to lean forward so much. They kind of work, but they're annoying. Yeah, Freeman, I know how to click links in a document. Yeah, I should get a blue light filter. I just happen to have these that other people left here. But yeah, I should get an actual blue light filter. Anyway, put these back. Wow. Um, it's to filter out blue light. That's supposed to be the bad thing about computer screens. What I'm using for a computer screen here is actually an ancient flat screen television. But well, I have the red glasses, but they cut out the glare, but they're too dark. Oh Lord. Stop it, cat. That's my hand. It isn't a toy. Yeah, Patches, you're a pest. Spunky little kitty. What are you doing? Playing with a. Uh, oh well. I really should get off the computer and read a book or something, or make breakfast. Oh, yeah. I remember Jill, although by the time I actually worked in the college theater, they had little round glass things they could flip over the lens to change the color of the light. They didn't use gel. Okay, time to make some breakfast and yeah, get on with the day. I'm glad that you've all been here. Makes me happy to see all my chatters. I've got the best chat room on the internet because you guys are all in it. So I will see you another time. They went back to gel? They don't use Verilight anymore? Huh. Strange. Okay, let's see. It's thank you all for listening and have a great day. Whew. Evil back killing me. See you all next time.